Hello friends. Welcome back to the channel. There is one skill that decides how far you go in life. It shapes your relationships, your opportunities, your confidence, your leadership, and even the way people think of you. That skill is communication. Yet most of us learn only the surface layer of it. We learn how to speak. We learn how to express opinions. We learn how to hold conversations. But we rarely learn the deeper layer of communication that determines whether our presence feels powerful or forgettable. The truth is simple. Your life changes the moment your communication changes. Not because you suddenly begin using big words, but because you begin creating impact. The kind of impact that is felt when you speak. The kind of presence that makes people pay attention when you enter a room. The kind of clarity that makes people trust you within seconds. These are not basic skills. These are advanced communication principles that most people never discover, yet they shape every experience you have. In this video, we will explore 12 advanced communication skills that have the power to reshape your entire life. These are the skills used by compelling leaders, respected professionals, emotionally intelligent individuals, and people who naturally attract respect without trying. Each skill is deeper than a technique. Each one is an inner shift that affects the way you carry yourself and the way people respond to you. As you listen to each one, notice which skill speaks to you the most. That is the skill that is already waiting to grow within you. Before we begin, remember to subscribe, because every video on this channel is designed to help you communicate better. Think deeper and become the strongest version of yourself. Let us begin with the first one. Skill 1, the power of the deliberate pause. Every conversation carries its own rhythm. Some people rush through their words as if the faster they speak, the more they will be understood. Others avoid silence because they fear it will make them appear unsure. Yet the opposite is true. A person who pauses while speaking does not signal hesitation. A person who pauses signals depth. A pause is not empty space. A pause is intentional space. It is the moment where your thoughts align with your words and your presence expands. When you pause before a key sentence, the listener becomes more attentive. Their mind prepares to receive something meaningful. When you pause after an important statement, the listener reflects. Your message finds a place to settle. A deliberate pause tells the other person that you are aware of your own thoughts. It shows that you are not racing to be heard, but choosing to be understood. It reveals that your communication springs from clarity rather than anxiety. Think of the individuals who hold your attention effortlessly. They do not rush. They do not scramble for the next sentence. Their silence carries weight because it is intentional. They speak as if each idea deserves space. This is what gives their words authority. The true power of a pause lies in its ability to ground you. When you pause, you breathe. When you breathe, you calm your nervous system. When you calm your nervous system, your voice becomes steady and your message becomes stronger. Using pauses is not about speaking slowly. It is about speaking consciously. It is about being present with your thoughts and allowing your listener to be present with them too. Try adding a small pause before your next important sentence. Feel the shift inside you. Feel the focus it creates around you. That moment of silence will say more about your confidence than any number of words ever could. Skill 2. Emotional mirroring that builds instant connection. Every human being carries an emotional frequency whenever they speak. Some speak with excitement. Others speak with calmness. Some carry frustration beneath their words. Others hide exhaustion behind a polite tone. Communication becomes powerful when you learn to sense this emotional frequency and adjust your energy to meet them where they are. This is emotional mirroring, and it is one of the most profound ways to build instant trust. Emotional mirroring is not imitation. It is alignment. It is the gentle act of matching the emotional tone of the person in front of you so that they feel understood on a deeper level. When someone is sad, you do not respond with exaggerated enthusiasm. When someone is excited, you do not respond with indifference. You shift your tone in a way that honors their emotional reality. This tells them that you are listening not only to their words, but to their state of mind. When you become emotionally aware in conversations, people sense your sensitivity and emotional intelligence. They begin opening up to you because you create an environment where their emotions are acknowledged without judgment. They feel safe because they feel seen. Human beings naturally trust those who feel similar to them. When you align your energy to theirs, even slightly, their guard lowers and communication becomes sincere and effortless. The goal of emotional mirroring is not to stay at the same energy level forever. The goal is to enter their emotional world gently and then guide the conversation toward clarity and balance. When someone is overwhelmed, you begin by speaking softly, then gradually help them rise to a calmer mindset. When someone is nervous, you begin with warmth and reassurance, then lead the conversation into confidence. Authentic communication is not about changing people, but supporting them until they find their ground. When you begin using emotional mirroring in daily life, you will notice that people respond to you differently. They will feel comfortable around you without knowing why. They will listen to you more attentively. They will trust you more naturally. This is the quiet strength of emotional mirroring. It turns ordinary conversations into meaningful human connections. Skill 3. Listening with your eyes and understanding beyond words. Most people believe that communication is built on speaking well. However, the truth is that communication is built on listening well. The most advanced communicators listen with more than their ears. They listen with their eyes, their presence, and their awareness. They understand that people express far more through their body language than their sentences. When you begin to observe expressions, gestures, and subtle shifts in emotion, you begin to understand the unspoken layer of communication. When someone says they are fine, but their shoulders drop and their eyes avoid yours, their body reveals what their words conceal. When someone says it is okay, but their voice softens and their breathing shifts, something inside them is unsettled. When someone says they agree, but their posture tightens, they may be holding back a concern. Listening with your eyes allows you to understand these hidden messages. It transforms conversations because it allows you to respond to the truth rather than the surface. People rarely say everything they feel. They often speak in polite sentences, while their emotions reveal the actual story. A person who listens with sensitivity becomes a safe space for others. They become the person people trust during difficult moments. They notice discomfort before it becomes conflict. They sense disappointment before it becomes silence. They understand sadness even when it is wrapped in a smile. When you listen with your eyes, you begin recognizing patterns that others overlook. You notice when someone is anxious, even when they pretend to be confident. You notice when someone needs reassurance, even when they act strong. You notice when someone is eager to share, but unsure if they should. This kind of awareness creates deeper communication because it allows you to respond with empathy rather than assumption. Listening is not about staying quiet while someone speaks. Listening is about honoring their emotional truth. It is about paying attention not only to what they say, but also to what they are unable to say. When you listen with your eyes, every conversation becomes richer, deeper, and more human. You connect with people in a way that words alone can never achieve. Skill 4. One idea at a time for maximum clarity. There is a powerful shift that happens in your communication when you begin to express one idea at a time. Many people speak in long, tangled sentences that contain multiple thoughts, emotions, and expectations. This creates confusion. Listeners struggle to follow. The message becomes diluted. Advanced communicators understand that clarity is the heart of influence. When you speak with clarity, your message becomes easier to absorb, easier to remember, and easier to trust. Expressing one idea at a time does not mean speaking slowly. It means speaking with structure. It means giving your listener the chance to understand your current thought before introducing the next one. When your communication is clean, people stop guessing your meaning. They begin hearing you with confidence because your thoughts are organized. You no longer overwhelm the conversation with unnecessary complexity. When you speak in clear, focused sentences, you give your message direction. You guide the listener gently from one idea to another instead of overwhelming them with too much information at once. This is not only easier for the listener, it is easier for you. It allows you to think more clearly. It prevents you from losing your train of thought. It reduces anxiety and increases confidence. Clarity is a sign of inner order. When your mind feels scattered, your speech becomes scattered. When your mind feels settled, your speech becomes settled. By practicing one idea at a time, you train your mind to organize thoughts before releasing them. This simple habit makes your communication feel more professional, more thoughtful, and more impactful. People listen to those who make their understanding easier. When you offer your ideas in a clear sequence, people respect you more because you help them follow your mind without struggle. You begin sounding more confident because you are no longer rushing to force multiple ideas into one breath. The strength of your communication is not measured by how much you say. It is measured by how clearly you say it. One idea at a time is the path to clarity, and clarity is the path to influence. Skill 5. The confidence triangle of voice, breath, and posture. Confidence is not a personality trait. It is a presence you create through 3 silent elements that shape the way others perceive you. These 3 elements are your voice, your breath, and your posture. Together, they form the confidence triangle, a simple yet powerful internal structure that influences how people respond to you before you even speak a complete sentence. When you master these 3 components, your communication begins to carry a natural authority that does not rely on volume or dominance. It comes from steadiness. Your voice is the first part of this triangle. A steady voice does not mean a loud voice. It means a voice that is not rushed. It means you speak with a rhythm that reflects inner calm. A rushed voice suggests anxiety. A trembling voice suggests fear. A steady voice suggests clarity. When you slow down your speech slightly, your tone deepens. Your words carry weight. People instinctively listen more carefully because your energy feels composed. Your breath is the second part of the triangle. The way you breathe shapes the way you speak. Shallow breathing creates tension and makes your voice sound strained. Deep breathing grounds you. It allows your sentences to flow without pressure. When you take slow, conscious breaths during a conversation, your nervous system relaxes. Your mind becomes clear. Your presence becomes cantered. People feel that stability in your tone even if they cannot explain why. Your posture completes the triangle. The way you stand or sit sends a silent message long before your words arrive. Closed posture signals insecurity. Collapsed shoulders signal self-doubt. Open posture signals confidence and receptiveness. When your posture is upright and relaxed, your communication automatically becomes more impactful because your physical stance supports your mental clarity. When these 3 elements come together, they create a state of grounded confidence. You do not need to pretend. You do not need to try too hard. Your very presence communicates strength and calmness. The confidence triangle is not a technique. It is a way of preparing your inner world so your outer communication becomes naturally powerful. Skill 6. The name principle that deepens human connection. There is a simple truth about human beings that never changes. People feel valued when their name is remembered and spoken with intention. A name is not just a label. It is an identity. It carries emotion, memory, and meaning. When you use someone's name naturally in a conversation, you create a sense of personal connection that words alone cannot achieve. This is the name principle, an advanced communication skill that reveals respect and attention. Many people use generic terms in conversation because they either forget names or do not consider them important. Yet when you remember someone's name, You signal that they mattered enough for your mind to hold on to them. This makes them feel recognized. When you speak their name at the right moment, it creates a sense of familiarity. The interaction becomes warmer and more human. Imagine discussing something important with someone and hearing your name spoken gently before a sentence. It makes you feel acknowledged. It draws you into the conversation. It makes the message feel more personal. That is the emotional power of a name. People do not consciously think about it, yet their heart responds instantly. Using names should never feel forced. You do not need to repeat it excessively. You simply use it when it adds meaning. A name spoken at the beginning of a sentence builds connection. A name spoken at the end builds reassurance. A name spoken during disagreement softens tension. A name spoken during appreciation deepens gratitude. When you master this skill, your presence becomes more memorable because people feel personally connected to you. The name principle is not just about memory. It is about intention. It is about making people feel seen as individuals. When someone feels valued in your presence, the communication flows effortlessly. They listen to you more openly. They share more comfortably. They trust you more naturally. Remembering and using names respectfully is a quiet but powerful way to deepen human connection. Skill 7. Painting pictures with your words. Words are not just sounds. They are carriers of imagination. People do not remember plain sentences. They remember images created by those sentences. That is why master communicators use language that evokes pictures rather than relying on abstract descriptions. When you speak in a way that allows others to visualize your message, your communication becomes memorable, emotional, and engaging. This is the art of painting pictures with your words. When you describe a feeling as if it were a scene, people understand you instantly. When you describe a situation in a way that allows the listener to imagine themselves inside it, your message becomes personal. When you use imagery to explain an idea, the listener no longer connects only with your words. They connect with the experience behind your words. This is why stories, metaphors, and vivid descriptions stay in our minds longer than instructions. Imagine explaining something stressful by saying that it felt like running through a storm with no shelter. Instantly, the listener feels the pressure, urgency, and emotional weight of the situation. Imagine explaining something peaceful by describing it as standing near a quiet river at sunrise. The listener feels calmness without needing further explanation. Imagery bypasses logic and speaks to emotion, making your communication more powerful. You do not need poetic language to paint pictures. You only need to choose words that carry emotion. Simple imagery is more effective than complexity. When you describe experiences visually, you create a bridge between your world and the listener's mind. They begin to feel what you feel. They understand you without effort. This creates deeper connection and stronger emotional impact. Painting pictures with words transforms your communication from explanation to experience. People do not just hear you. They see you. They feel your meaning. They remember your message long after the conversation ends. This ability is a hallmark of advanced communication because it turns ordinary language into a story the listener carries with them. Skill 8. Asking the questions that open the heart, not just the mind. Most people ask questions to collect information. They ask about details, events, and facts. Yet advanced communicators ask questions that reveal emotions, motivations, and inner truth. These are the questions that do not just open a conversation. They open the heart of the person in front of you. They allow others to feel safe enough to express what they truly mean, not just what they think they should say. A powerful question is not complicated. It is thoughtful. It shows that you care about the feeling behind the words. When you ask someone why something mattered to them or how an experience made them feel, you invite them into a deeper space within themselves. They begin to reflect. They begin to trust you. They begin to speak in a way that is more genuine because you have shown that you are prepared to listen beyond the surface. These kinds of questions do not put pressure on the person. They guide them gently toward clarity. They help them understand themselves while helping you understand them. This is where true connection forms. When someone feels that you respect their inner world, they begin to share more openly. They no longer hold back. They no longer speak in rehearsed lines. They speak from a place that is honest and human. You will notice that conversations become richer when you ask meaningful questions. They stop feeling like exchanges of information and begin feeling like shared experiences. They remember the depth you brought into a simple moment. People remember how you made them think and how you made them feel. When you ask questions that connect to the heart, you become a person with whom communication feels healing and sincere. If you have reached this point in the video, then you already understand how powerful communication truly is. It is not just a skill. It is a doorway to transformation. The more you understand yourself, the more deeply you understand others. And the more you master these advanced communication principles, the more naturally people will be drawn to your presence. If these skills resonated with you, then make sure you take a moment to reflect on one question. Which skill are you going to apply first? Even one small change can transform the way people respond to you. If you found value in this video, remember to like it, share it, and subscribe to the channel so that you do not miss the next powerful lesson. Thank you for spending this time with me. I appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video.